Hey guys, and welcome back to the ASX Investor channel, and welcome to another CEO interview. Today we'll be exploring the lithium sector once again. We all know how hot and how much excitement there is surrounding the broader EV battery supply chain. And today we're actually going to be unpacking a company that has one of the largest resources in the world for lithium. It's ASX AVZ. AVZ Minerals own the Manono project in the DRC, and they've got a range of upcoming catalysts that are making it quite a compelling proposition. And we'll be exploring all of those with their CEO, Nigel Ferguson. Nigel, it's been a phenomenal period of uplift for AVZ along with the rest of the sector. There's exciting things to look forward to. How are you going? Welcome to the channel, mate.
Thank you very much. Yeah, pleasure to be here. And yes, you're quite right. It's been pretty exciting times.
I guess before we dive into all of the recent news flow and the upcoming catalysts, maybe if you can just give us that overview of who is AVZ Minerals and really where is that position that you're sitting in at the moment?
We're based in Africa. We're in the Congo. We have a pretty unique deposit in that it's probably the largest undeveloped lithium project, the second highest grade, we're calling it. We've got 400 million tonnes, 1.65% in resource category. So it is a large deposit. We certainly feel that that's only just the tip of the iceberg. We've stated that right from the get-go when we had drilling into it. So yeah, about 1.5 billion is the target that we have if we wanted to drill everything out. 1.5 billion tonnes at better than 1.5%. So yeah, massive project.
It's phenomenal. I know we were talking about it just before we came on. The resource size is huge. The opportunity to continue to expand as well is there. Can you just talk about some of those key benefits that you think AVZ has? Obviously, the expandability is significant, but also the DRC government support and some of those other different factors that are at play.
Yeah, I mean, obviously the biggest thing you would think about with a deposit that size is the economies of scale. If it starts ramping up from 2 million tonne throughput to 10 million tonne to possibly 20 million tonnes if there's enough supply or demand there. So look, yeah, it's basically that. So we've got a 4.5 million tonne throughput study sitting out there at the moment. We're investigating a 10 million tonne, and obviously there'll be some economies of scale of mining and transport, etc. It's one of those things that we just need to keep pushing along with and see where we're going to land with the market at the moment. Yeah, it's just exciting times, really exciting times.
Africa is quite an interesting jurisdiction, maybe for ASX investors or for those who are in Australia, they might not be too familiar with the lay of the land. I know that you yourself and the rest of the team have got quite a good relationship with the DRC government there. We know that the DRC Business Forum just recently played out as well. We know there's significant investment and focus on the EV battery supply chain. Can you speak about the lay of the land there and kind of how that's feeding into the opportunity?
Yes, it's been a changed time over there with President Tshisekedi coming on board. He's sweeping clean. I see great improvements in what's happening in the country. I've been operating there since about 2004, so I've been right through the thick of the Kabila times. But we're seeing lots of new investment coming into the country, lots of upgrade of facilities and infrastructure happening. President Tshisekedi's been out courting the European Union countries and the US. We're seeing, again, interest from the US. I think there was a lovely article in the New York Times not so long ago about how the support for the DRC has started to come back. And on a personal, AVZ personal note with the local government and the federal government there, we couldn't be happier. We've got a lot of support coming through from the Minister for Industry and Minister for Mines and Minister for Portfolio, the regional ministerial officers as well. They're giving us great support in Tanganyika province. And of course, the PM and the President, they want this to be, because of the wealth of cobalt and copper and now lithium in the country and manganese, there's opportunities there for this to develop into its own sort of self-sustaining business within the industry, EV batteries. It's all go at the moment. So, and that's the reason we joined up with this council. It was there the other day. We had the business forum, so very pleased to be a part of that.
Right in the middle of that key supply chain. It's going to be fascinating to see how it plays out. We know there's a range of different infrastructure as well in terms of the transport, and you've got that renewable hydroelectric plant too. Can you speak about why that's so important about the facility that you're building?
Wonderful facility is the historical facility that was there in the original mining scenario from 1930s through until 1980. And just to have that refurbished up and running and pushing power into our plant and equipment, it underpins everything we're trying to do with greenhouse gas emissions. The only sort of black startup that we would have would be the diesel generator for kilning side of things, the PLS roasting of the material, and then eventually, once we get the size right for things, electric trucks, dump trucks, vehicles, all that sort of stuff will start following on as well. Obviously, the light vehicles are out there already now, so yeah, it's massive. It really brings our greenhouse gas output down. I think on the assessment we did, we were in the bottom quartile of all of the hard rock producers, and a lot better than a lot of the brines as well. So, and we'll continue to improve on that. We'll just keep getting better.
And keen to hear your thoughts on the development of the expansion as well. We know that with the DFS, you added on that first half of the hydroxide plant. Did you have further thoughts about moving further downstream, or how were you really envisaging that?
I think any lithium producer would tell you that they're always going to be vertically integrated. They want to get to produce hydroxide. So some of them have jumped in and gone hell for leather, and probably underwater for a little bit, and then they found their feet. And they're back up and running again. So look, it's always a plan for us with a resource that we could expand. We've got a middling stream as well that's available to us. We haven't put any flotation onto the system yet. We'll do some test work on that to do the flotation side of things. So there's other streams that we can add to expand the operation and produce more product. Yeah, PLS 1 is going to be the first stage, but we've got PLS 3, 4, or 5, 6 in the background waiting for the expansion to happen, basically. So it'll be a gradual increase, and we'll just keep going with what we can.
And of course, we know that there's 3 offtakes, but recently that deal with CATH really attracted a lot of investor interest, 24% equity funding. They are part owned by CATL, one of the largest battery manufacturers in the world. Keen to just hear your thoughts about the validation that brings for the mission, and also why they're such a good partner for you as well.
Basically, they are a very good partner for us because they've got the hydroxide technology. We'll support their expansion plans in China as long as they support our hydroxide plans in the DRC and elsewhere. So it is a bit of a match made in heaven. The chairman, Pei, is a very astute businessman, a lot of history within the industry as well. I think they're producing 75,000 tonnes per annum now of hydroxide, and with CATL as a partner, obviously that's the end user of the product. So it'll feed into that, obviously. So we've got a ready stream all the way through. Yeah, like, I mean, he's been committed to the project, committed to the financing. The 240 million is just the start of it. He's got to put up his equity piece after that. So we're well over 400. So we really do miss the project, bringing that on board.
Yeah, everything is coming together now, and it looks like all the building blocks are starting to be in place. Of course, there's a couple of things on the horizon. The mining license is what's attracting a lot of investor interest, as well as the potential news flow surrounding a collaboration agreement. Can you talk about how things are progressing and any insight or colour that you can provide to investors surrounding those?
I think everybody knows that the mining license is coming, and we're just all fingers crossed waiting for this to happen. It's a bit of bureaucratic red tape that we're going through at the moment, but we needed 3 favourable opinions. We've got 2 of them: the financing, the environmental. They've been ticked off. It really just is the review of the DFS. I believe, and we were told that we had 5 DFS documents placed on the table of the committee of 15 to review. 4 of them are rejected. Ours was taken through. We have 4 or 5 questions that were sent through to us. We've responded to those. We believe the committee is sitting again this week. Fingers, toes, everything crossed. We hope to have that document through this week, which is a favourable opinion for the DFS, and that goes through then the process of going to CAMI. CAMI collate the 3 documents together. That goes to the minister, and the minister has 30 days from there. So we'll guide that through by hand if we have to, just to make it all happen. I'm hoping for a Christmas present.
And then for the other catalysts up ahead as well, we know obviously that potential production upgrade from 4.5 million tonnes to 10 million, which came as a result of the CATH deal as well, that further investigation. What else should investors be looking forward to over this next period as some key growth drivers?
Well, look, the cream on top for us is obviously any deal we could do with the government. They're sitting with 25% of the project now. By law, by mining code law, they have to have 10% when we turn over to a mining license. So that leaves 15%. We're negotiating with the government on that 15%. As part of the deal there as well, we'd look to do the collaboration agreement with them. So we'll run two in parallel. There'll be the special economic zone for downstream processing, and then there'll be the mining license, which comes underneath the collaboration agreement and the hybrid tax regime. So we're hoping for some benefits out of that with regards to corporate taxes, import-export duties, etc. And quite happy to do it. We're very keen to get this across the line, obviously, because it makes money as it is now, but if we've got that benefit, it's going to be a lot easier for us as well.
And so then as all of those things start to fall into place, is it hopefully shovels into the ground next year? And then when would you be aiming to get into production for the product finally?
We've probably pushed back a little bit on final production coming out of the ground, or the first SC6 on truck, I would say. We were talking Q1 of 23, we're now talking Q2, so mid-year we would think. But still on track for what we need to do and get up and running. We've got a wet season to take care of as well. So if everything goes according to plan and we get the mining license, the contracts are all ready to go for EPCs. We've negotiated all of those. We're sitting with documents ready to go. The preferred client or contractor, I should say, is there ready to go. So as soon as we have this, we've got enough money to get on with it for 6 months, and then we just need to finalise the balance of the funding. Depends which one we go for, obviously.
It'll be fascinating to see those final funding decisions as you just move towards construction and then production. I guess the final question, as you mentioned earlier on, this has been a journey of a few years. You're finally getting to this really exciting stage and progressing through. For those longer term investors who have followed ASX AVZ all the way through, maybe those newer prospective shareholders who might be looking at the AVZ Minerals story, did you have any final reflections you wanted to leave with them?
Look, I think for the people that have been on board, the investors who have been on board for quite some time, I can only thank them for their support. It's been a bit of a rough road around the 3 cent mark, but I think you look back on that with fond memories and just say, well, we had faith in it, and the shareholders have kept on board have had faith in it. And for any new shareholders that are looking at it, I would suggest that there's still room for improvement on our share price. So catalysts coming out of that are going to be the mining license. The new definitive feasibility with the mining license becomes a bankable feasibility. I think those numbers are just going to shock a few people, to be honest. The first round for us shocked us. So we'll get those out, hopefully as soon as the mining license comes, we'll be able to pop those out in the market. And then the collaboration agreement, etc., is probably another catalyst, and then we'll just keep on expanding from there. We're always looking for new avenues to expand.
That is the AVZ Minerals story. It's ASX AVZ. If you did like the video, don't forget to hit the like button. Feel free to share it out. We make daily videos, so if you haven't yet, make sure you've subscribed and turn your bell notifications on. Nigel Ferguson, it was a real pleasure. Congratulations on this past period, and we're looking forward to seeing where AVZ heads from here, mate.
Lovely, thanks. That's good.